Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video kind of explaining, giving my thoughts on an upcoming story arc from the Walking Dead television series, second half of Season 6. This one is going to be explaining, we're going to be talking about the concept of a larger world. So we've been getting quite a bit of promo pics recently for The Walking Dead the last couple weeks. We had the poster there that I showed you guys. That was probably last week and or the week before. And then just recently, a couple days back, we got this picture of Rick and Michonne. Basically, as they're standing on top of a hill looking out over a larger world. Really cool. So it reminds me a lot of a part of the Walking Dead comic book series called Larger World, of course, volume 16, where you have Rick. He's kind of standing on top of a hill, and he's actually got Abraham and Michonne with him, and they're kind of looking out over what is a larger world. So what it represents is really cool for the series. It really takes the series in a different direction from what we're used to. Earlier on in The Walking Dead, we're more used to following a small group of survivors pretty much by themselves in the zombie apocalypse, trying to survive. That's the start of The Walking Dead. Season 1 is like that. Season 2 is mostly like that. Then near the end of Season 2, we start getting into the concept of kind of surviving villains and other characters that are out there. But for the first at least couple seasons, we're really focused on Rick's group by itself. Season 4, after the governor stuff, a lot of it goes back to that, where it's kind of more survival, just surviving together. That kind of, even Season 5, remember that they had that promo, Surviving Together, which was kind of cool. Now, the future of The Walking Dead is going to take it in a different direction, which is good because, as Scott Kimball says, the show likes to reinvent itself. The comic book series as well, too. It does evolve and it does change, which is necessary, because if it doesn't, here's the word that's going to come into play: repetitive. That's what's going to happen. If the series doesn't grow and it doesn't progress and it doesn't evolve and change, it's going to become repetitive and people are not going to want to read it. It's not going to be one of the top released comic books every month, which Walking Dead has been for the last few years, usually in the top 20 or at least around the top 20, which is good because it's with Image, it's independent, and it's not part of Marvel or DC. So it's pretty good for it to be near the top anyway. Means that it's pretty popular for the most part. Maybe not as popular as something like Batman or Superman or X-Men or something, or Avengers, but it does what it can, right? In terms of Kirkman, is it Kirkman by himself? Image, it's exceeded what their expectations should have been, I think, to begin with. So TV series version, just catching up on that, and we're now starting to see the group change from just a smaller kind of let's survive, let's hide out in this prison, let's stay in this Alexandria place, to a larger world where you have more communities. You have up to 4. We're going to be seeing pretty soon. We're going to get to see the Hilltop. We're going to get to see, we have Alexandria, of course, but the Hilltop, the Saviors, the Kingdom, and Alexandria. So you have 4 different locations, and it starts to feel a lot more like a show like Game of Thrones, where you have a lot of different locations, different set pieces, different things happening at certain times, and it all kind of syncs together, every couple episodes or every so often, to create a more worldwide type story. So a larger story, a story that's not just focused on the micro and on a small group trying to make it survival horror, to a larger group, a larger few different locations, and have it all come together piece to piece and create a more macro type story, a more zoomed out type story. So I love this picture because it symbolizes what we're about to see, which is that the series is going to be taking on a more larger world approach, going forward, and we're not just going to see that same repetitive, kind of micro survival forever. It has to evolve and it's going to grow. You're going to get more characters. You're not going to get less. You're going to have more communities. You're not going to have less. You're going to have more things happening, more interactions, more groups and how they interact with each other on a more larger world set, which is awesome. So I can't wait to see it. It's going to be great and it's going to be really cool. It's a necessary evolution for The Walking Dead. Can't wait to see how it all unfolds second half of Season 6 and into Season 7. To describe, this is a little bit spoilery, so heads up for anyone who hasn't read the comic series and doesn't want to know. Volume 16, A Larger World. So on the wiki it reads, in this arc, Rick is hoping to restart a civilized and peaceful life inside the Alexandria Safe-Zone. But his group realizes they're not the only survivors out in the world. They encounter a new survivor in the waste named Paul Monroe, who I've done a video on, who is Paul Monroe, who nicknamed Jesus, who's Jesus, that kind of deal, who says he is a recruiter for a group of possibly more than 200 people nearby named the Hilltop Colony. The colony appears to be even safer than Alexandria, but the group soon learns that the people of the Hilltop Colony have some very dangerous enemies, so other groups out there. So it's really cool because aside from season 3 where you have Woodbury and we kind of find out that there's of course Woodbury, another settlement, another community, and it's kind of a one-on-one. This is a larger larger conflict, a larger more complex story where you have 4 different communities and how they interact rather than just one-on-one between the prison group, which is just like a small group of people, like a dozen people, versus Woodbury. Now you have 4 different groups and how they interact, and see Negan's group basically force the others into submission, into paying to him, and them kind of having no other choice but to do so until Rick comes along and further complicates the story. So that's pretty much all I'll say for this one without getting too into spoilers and specifics in terms of details of the story that we're going to be seeing coming up. Can't wait to see it as always. Can't wait to see what you guys think of it with The Walking Dead having a more larger world type of palette to work from. And I think most of you guys are going to like it. If you're kind of feeling like it's getting a little bit kind of repetitive, that kind of deal, the story is about to change quite a bit. And already they've started to include a lot of this anyway. Like if you look at the first half of season 6, you have the story. Different episodes will have different characters, different locations. You'll have Glenn, he's over here. You'll have with Nicholas, you'll have Daryl and the others, Sasha and Abraham, they're over there. They get separated. You got Rick's group back here. Then you got Rick on the road, and you've got all these different episodes happening at once. It's going to be really cool to see a larger world in the TV series because we're going to be getting to see different episodes with different concentrations on different groups, and then seeing them all interact kind of can make for some pretty epic build-ups and conclusions or finales and premieres. So can't wait to see it. So let me know what you guys think about this part of the Walking Dead story. If you've read it, write your comments below. Let me know what you think about it compared to the others and the previous, and the evolution of the series and how it changes. That's kind of my thoughts on it. It's necessary. It's cool. I think it just makes for the story to become even better later on with just more things happening, and I can't wait to see how that's all adapted into the TV series. It's going to be amazing, so I can't wait. Send me whatever questions you guys got. I'll probably do a Q&A for tomorrow. And that's it for today. If you guys like the video, you can thumb it up below. If you want to help support the channel, you can share, you can favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for today's. May see you guys again tomorrow. As always, it's Trev saying peace.